God is not going to drop your husband on your doorstep, so you have to go out, go and position yourself. How many of you are tired of hearing position yourself, position yourself? Like what? When you ask them, what do they mean by position yourself? Is mostly, oh, go out, or if you like a guy, then be in his presence. When you're not Jesus, why should I be in your presence? If you like a guy, then be where he's at. If he's in your church, then you want to maybe sit close to him, or you want to hover around him. Or if he's in your house fellowship, you want to make sure you go to the house fellowship. Or just so many weird things that you hear on how to position yourself. If a guy likes you, you don't need to be in his presence 247 for him to realize that, oh, I actually like this babe. No, he can see you once and want to pursue you. So you don't have to always be wherever he is. He will look for you where you are, sis. Good God, oh, you be good God. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. As you can see from the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with us a few things I believe us Christians do not want to hear again. We are tired of hearing these things, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard at least one of these things I'm about to share, if not all of them, to be honest. I think we've all heard all these things. Let me just delve right into it. The first thing we are sick and tired of hearing is that it would happen when you least expect it. Whew, I cannot even count the number of people that have said this, and sometimes it's from a good place. Oh, it will come when you least expect it. It will happen when you're not thinking about it. I don't know if I'm the only one that is tired of hearing that, but yeah, it's just too much. Like, when you least expect it, it will happen. Like, why do we have to least expect it for it to happen? We desire it, we want it to happen, so why can't it happen even if we desire it? If does that make sense? I don't know if you guys can relate, but yeah, for me personally, I don't want to hear that again. Another thing that we are sick of hearing is that God is not going to drop your husband on your doorstep. You have to go out, go and position yourself. How many of you are tired of hearing position yourself, position yourself? Like what? And when you ask them, what do they mean by position yourself? Is mostly, oh, go out, or if you like a guy, then be in his presence. When you're not Jesus, why should I be in your presence? If you like a guy, then be where he's at. If he's in your church, then you want to maybe sit close to him, or you want to hover around him. Or if he's in your house fellowship, you want to make sure you go to the house fellowship. Or just so many weird things that you hear on how to position yourself. Like, why go through so much trouble and so much stress? And I think as well that guys these days actually like that when they say ladies should position themselves, because most of them have gotten really lazy. They don't want to do the chasing, they don't want to do the pursuing. They just want to be very laid back and allow the lady do most of the work. You know how we hear like guys are hunters or whatever. If a guy likes you, you don't need to be in his presence 247 for him to realize that, oh, I actually like this babe. No, he can see you once and want to pursue you. So you don't have to always be wherever he is. He will look for you where you are, sis. I'm so tired of hearing this position yourself, position yourself. Fine, you want to go out, you want to be visible, which I understand. And even I myself, I'm trying to do that. Like just not stay in my house all through like 247 or whatever. Be intentional about going out, maybe for conferences, for events, socials and whatnot. But sometimes I'm just sick of hearing this, go position yourself, or God is not going to drop your husband at your door, so go out, go out, go out. Yeah, sometimes it can be a lot for us to like take in. So that's one thing I personally am actually sick of hearing. Another thing that I believe most of us can relate to, that we're actually sick and tired of hearing, is that our standards are too high. We should lower our standards so that the guys that we want would approach us, or the guys that would desire us. Like, oh man, there's nothing that we have not heard as a single woman. Honestly, we should lower our standards so that guys can be more receptive to us. We should lower our standards just so we can get married. I think one of the things that they particularly say we should lower is the guy's spiritual maturity. Because for me, right, I desire a guy that has a very close relationship with God, a guy that is hungry and is passionate for God, a guy that you can see that this person is on fire for God. Like, that is my desire. And sometimes people hear that and they're like, well, not all guys are like that. Well, most times women are the ones that are on fire for God. Women are the ones that are pursuing God. We are the ones that are basically in that high or in that spiritual maturity level that we are seeking for in a guy, but most times the girls are the ones that are in that level. And I'm like, okay, but I personally want my husband to be on that level, if not higher as well. So that spiritual maturity aspect is one that I feel most people tell us single women to lower our standards on, that it's okay to still be with a guy that maybe he's just like starting his work with God, or he's just coming into the faith, or he's not as on fire for God as you are, or whatever, basically. And I mean, if God is telling you that that is the person he has for you and both of you would grow together, then fine. But God knows our different desires, and God knows the desires that he has put in our hearts. And if it's not of him, God will also let us know it is not from him. But I don't think anyone has that right to tell us to lower our standards when it comes to spiritual maturity of our husband. Like the Bible has said, our husband is the priest and the covering over our home, and we want him to take that leadership, that spiritual leadership of the home. That is why we desire that spiritual maturity in him. So that's one thing that I personally am tired of hearing, that I need to lower my standards so that I can get married, right? Yeah. And then the next thing I'm sure we are all tired of hearing, not just Christian women, but all ladies in general, is that you are too fine to still be single. You are too cute. A whole babe like you, how come you are still single? A whole correct babe, wife material, 100 years. Why are you still single? Are the guys blind? Like, what's happening? Are you too picky? Are you too choosy? If I can count how many times people have told me this, then I think I'll be a billionaire by now. Oh my God, you are too fine to be single. What does that even mean? What exactly does that mean? What has my beauty got to do with the fact that I'm still single? Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? I'm just thinking about it, and so I'm sharing with you guys. When people tell you you are too fine to be single, how do you respond to them? Like, what do you say? What's your response? Thank you, or well, it is what it is. I actually genuinely don't know. And I'm just thinking, how do I respond when somebody says that to me? I think I just laugh or I just smile, but I don't really say anything because genuinely I do not know what to say. If the guys are not approaching, what can I do? Like, if God has blinded the wrong people from approaching, then what can I do? Right? We're not looking for everybody to approach us. We're looking for just one person, and that is our husband. So if the rest people have been blinded to the beauty of God's creation, then that's absolutely fine. It's just one person that God has to open his eyes and let the scales fall off his eyes for him to see you. And that's it. Case closed. To anybody that says you are too pretty to be still single, just laugh it out. Like, don't even get offended. There's no need to even get offended. Just laugh it out and be like, haha, yeah, and that's it. Keep it moving, because there's nothing else you can say. But people that say that should please just stop saying that. Are we using our beauty to attract people? Are we using our beauty to lure people in? Like, beauty is one thing, but guys know what they're looking for, right? It's not just about having a fine face or having a good body or whatever. There are more important things. I hope we do know that. So, like, there are literally more things that carry so much weight than a woman's beauty or a woman's body or whatever. So these are some of the things that I personally, I'm just sick and tired of hearing. I don't know if you guys can relate to it, or if you guys have also heard these things. Also, feel free to share in the comments as well. What are the things you are tired of hearing as a single woman, or even as a guy? If you're a guy watching this as well, please let us know. What are the guys tired of hearing? Because I'm sure their own struggle is different, most likely different from our own struggle. So please, if you're a guy watching this, I actually want to hear from you. Let me know what your own struggles are and what you are tired of hearing. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you all in my next one. Bye.